All right, welcome on in. It is Geographically Challenged, episode number 95. It is going to be a good one as well because obviously we're going into the major period, so we'll have a lot of talk about the major. As you guys well know, when we get into major times, we tend to have a little bit of a broader scope even to Geographically Challenged. So scrotum.
Broader scrote. It's always good to have a broader scrote.
The bigger the better, as they say. So we'll
Not
talk
all the
about.
time. You should check your scrotes once in a while.
It's true. Squeeze them if there's any
that's
lumps.
true.
Yeah, make sure.
Lumps.
That's right. We're for men's health here on Geographically Challenged. But yeah, we'll talk about some.
It is November, men's mental, not mental health month or something. I don't know.
Mental
we are really good at this. So professional, man. This is one of those. You start listening to a podcast and you're like, why do they just sound like shit? This is one of those. Anyways. We'll talk about all sorts of stuff. We've obviously got to talk what happened in Chengdu and Hong Kong, wrap that up. Then we'll touch on, the major, do a bit of a preview, a bit of a power ranking. Everybody loves a power ranking. And then there's some, minor topics like ECL and CEGC to touch on at the end, just to give a quick shout out, for those last couple of events that we've had a look at. So, I guess let's get started first, though, with the biggest topic of the year. It is Bleh's world tour of podcasts, right? Because I feel like we've got a pretty good thing going here on Geographically Challenged. Bleh, it's like your podcast, my podcast, Pilski's podcast. We're here and there, but we don't often see ourselves on other podcasts, like I don't really do any other podcasts. Pilski definitely doesn't do any podcasts. He doesn't fucking work hard at all. And Bleh,
that's true.
You rarely do any podcasts, but now you've been on like 2 or 3, and I was watching him and I was like, holy shit, that's my guy.
Bro's getting jealous.
I am. I was like, he's cheating on me.
I mean, you like sitting in a cuck chair, dude. But here's the thing, the podcast chair. No, it's one of those weird things where I do one podcast here and there. On and off, depending on, for example, HLTV confirmed, crops up out of nowhere, every few months or whatever, or then you'll have someone I had one with Tech Girl recently, for example. It happens, but it just I think the past couple of weeks is out of nowhere. It's 4 or 5 podcasts. Hey, want to do this? Want to do this? And it's actually fun, right? Because obviously, you have certain podcasts which are more, shall we say, regimented, or they have a theme. Right, happening. If you look at some of Duncan's podcasts, or if you're looking at the Tech Girls or some of these HLTV confirmed, the more known ones. And then I did one with Ted. He's having his debut in at the major. I think he's had a lot of guests as well. Also, the questions were interesting. I had a couple earlier with more relatively unknown people, but it's fun talking about it because you gotta. It's different, right? It's not just the same old, let's talk about this event, let's talk about that. It's more like a broader thing. And then I had one with Dinko and Hang. That was fun. Just shooting shit with the boys. So it's just a mixture of everything happening. So yeah, I guess that's the next stage of my career. That's what happens to all male lonely males, the epidemic that's happening. Eventually, you start listening to podcasts, and the final boss is you start doing a lot of podcasts. And I think I've reached that stage right now. I am at the final stage of a lonely man.
Do you feel lonely, Bleh?
Not right now.
Not right now. There you go. Because we're here. That's beautiful, isn't it? All right, let's talk. Let's talk some Counter-Strike.
Fucking moment. All right.
Exactly. What have we got here? We've got Chengdu. Obviously, I think we can kind of throw all of this into one. The previous couple of events, we were sort of halfway through Chengdu when we last did the podcast, so we were not too sure exactly how the Mongols were going to go. We sort of obviously talked about controls coming into that roster. We need to touch on Lynn Vision and Tyloo and how things have gone for them as well in Chengdu and Hong Kong. For the Mongols as well, they played in Hong Kong. So we can see, obviously, that both Tyloo and Mongols didn't do too well in Hong Kong. So, guys, what's your thoughts on... I guess let's start off with the Mongols, right? Because that's, I suppose, the hot topic. Controls coming into this lineup. I think when we were watching Chengdu, we were looking at that and we were saying, you know what? This actually doesn't look half bad. Controls was kind of popping off. He was having some pretty good maps here and there. They placed top 6, which we kind of sort of said, if they make it to playoffs, we'll be pretty happy with the result. And I think, generally speaking, what we saw from them in Chengdu seemed like a reasonable performance considering the circumstances. Then, obviously, they go to Blast Rivals and they got kind of dumpstered. I mean, dumpstered is maybe a bit of a stretch because this game against Passion UA was a very, very close one. Had they won that, they would have gone through into the playoffs because they would have been in that upper final. But then they placed against Spirit down in the lower bracket and kind of got a bit owned, which was a team that they did beat actually back in Chengdu.
Chengdu, yeah.
Somewhere, so.
Here's my I wouldn't say worry, but my puzzlement with what happened to the Mongols is Chengdu was, I feel, all things considered, right, with Control's debut with the team, number one. Number two, by the way, the entire stage, all the stages were groups, were played in front of a crowd as well. I think they did a very, 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 very solid job overall. If you look at his roles as well, they just like slotted it in, him in a sense, his spots were just like, the star positions, and he's the oldest player coming in, a replacement. I think he did a very, very solid job overall. And I think Mongols, you might even say, over-delivered a little bit, beating Spirit as well, completely destroying them. So Chengdu, very, very commendable result. I'm on all these podcasts saying like, yeah, Mongols is still going to be pretty relevant. It's still going to be solid with Controlez. The system is great. What is shocking for me in Hong Kong was it looked like Controlez wasn't the problem. He was still fragging out. He was still doing his job. He was still being very solid. The team looked the worst they've looked in a very long time. Now, I'm talking about lack of comms. It looked like they were so disconnected, disjointed, the individuals. Also, individuals just failed to deliver. I'm looking at, Techno. I'm looking at Blitz. I'm looking at, 910. Blitz especially having one of the more rougher events he's ever had. And he's, and we've praised him as being one guy who, who can just completely carry the team when he really has to. I feel like they just played at 30% of what they really could. So I'm not sure if it's because Control is coming in, obviously it's going to be a bit of, I wouldn't say growing pains, but more like trying to work around him. But we didn't have that issue in Chengdu. And now you really, really struggle here in Blast. I know it's a smaller sample size, just 2 games, one against a very plucky fashion UA, one against Spirit, who look way more revitalized. But I don't know. That's the thing. I would never at any point put the blame on Controlez. I think it's delivered so far. But it felt like this event in Hong Kong was just a plain stinker for the Mongols, akin to what we saw in the PGL event early in the year, right? PGL Bucharest, I think it was, where they were one of the favorites, and it completely shot the bed. It just feels like that. And I'm just hoping that we see more of Chengdu from the Mongols to the major rather than
all right.
Hong Kong.
Okay. Well, I'll throw this one to you, Pilski, as like a sort of a somewhat charged question. Or state. It's a statement. It's a statement. Okay, so this is where I have it in my head. Okay, Controlez is not the problem, but he's also not the solution. What's your take on that?
I don't. Yeah, no. Well, I agree with that because there's really not much that he could do in my mind. Like, I think that it's interesting to me that Blitz said that Blair said that Blitz wasn't as much of an issue in Chengdu. I feel like in the games that we watched in Chengdu, Blitz was having some stinkers as well.
He was their lowest rated player in Chengdu.
I feel like Blitz and Mazinho both have games where they've just kind of gone missing for Mongols. Techno's been like up and down, but has had some good games. I totally feel like Controlez is not the issue, really. I feel like we're having some like up and down individual performance and some inconsistencies in terms of like cohesiveness, which is usually, where I feel like Mongols, we have in the past had some individuals who've had some up and down performances, but I just felt like they felt very like mortal, to be honest, in their last couple of events, and they definitely weren't playing up to the same standard. I don't think it really has anything to do with Controlez. Like, of course, he's not Senzu, but at the end of the day, he's overperforming for what you would expect of a player of his experience levels. So, like, you can't really complain too much about him. He's kind of fulfilling his end of the bargain, and I guess like from the rest of the team, something needs to happen. That's how I feel about it.
Yep.
He's the second highest rated player across the 2 events, by the way, just following 910, right? So he's delivering. And I think
I feel like I haven't had as much of an issue with 910 either. Like he's had some fucking super hard carry games for them, and I feel like he's kind of been doing his best, but like I feel like the rifling core is a little bit all over the place, and mostly that's come from Blitz and Mazinho for me.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we can I think dive into this a little bit more, especially in relation to how it's going to affect things at the major and what our expectations are for Mongols going forward when we do the major discussion. So I'm quite happy to just like move on from the Mongols here, as a bit of a quick sort of touch on Mongols. We'll touch on Lynn, we'll touch on Tyloo, and then we'll go into the major stuff, and that's where I think we can really deep dive into some of this. I would have to say again, if we go to Chengdu here and look at Tyloo, I guess the demise or the decline of Tyloo, and I think it kind of goes hand in hand as well with Lynn Vision. Like these 2 teams kind of like peaked around the last major. It was just after the last major, right? That Fisher event was like the first tournament back of the season, I think, or even it was prior to the season had started, because I think it was during the player break, if I remember rightly. But it was Lynn Vision did really well at the last major, and then Tyloo did really, really well coming into the season at Fisher, where they won. And then since then, both of these teams feel like they've been on a bit of a downward trajectory. We kind of, again, see that here in Chengdu. And then, obviously, we see that again for Tyloo in Blast Rivals. And the one thing I have to say on Tyloo is, like, will someone please help Jamyang? Like, it's starting to become a bit of a problem for them that, like, I mean, I'm looking at the numbers here. And, again, I'm not really a big numbers guy necessarily. But, you know, you look at this and it's like attacker 0.6. That's pretty fucking bad. Mercury 0.8, 0.8 for G, 0.8 for Mosaic, and then Jamyang's there at like 1.0. It's like it's a pretty average performance even from Jamyang, but it's like, can someone what is my bro supposed to do when he's got attacker going 0.6 minus 33 over 4 maps, and then you go into the next event, which was Hong Kong attacker again 0.79, Mosaic 0.85. It's a little bit better. It's a little bit healthier here. And Jamyang had actually a very good performance actually at Hong Kong, but again, it wasn't enough to get Tyloo through any of these games. And like, you even look at some of the games that they're playing. You know, and these are like super close losses, right? Like 13-10 loss on Overpass third map there. Vitality, they almost beat as well. Like they're 13-4 on Nuke. And then they lose 13-11. Fucking massive throw. Massive throw.
2v5,
like, why? Why? You know, like they are, I think, you look at them and you go, these guys are good enough to do something. And it just doesn't seem to happen at the moment.
It's very simple as this. Like, apart from Fisher, that, you know, as you said, has struggled. They've lost, I think, 10 out of the last 11 matches they've played, and the only one they won was against Fluxo, which was like a triple overtime game, best of 1, by the way. So it's been just miserable. So you could clearly see when it comes out to, you know, the final moments, right, we just need to close the game out, they still don't have it. This is very reminiscent of a lot of, you know, up and coming teams who've always struggled like this. But unfortunately for them, I don't think they've been able to break through that barrier, right? And they need to do that at some point, or else I feel like changes are going to be coming in. Attacker, look, it's easy to I wouldn't say pin it on him, and yes, he has struggled quite a bit, but then you look back at, for example, the Fisher win they had early this year. Man, he was so pivotal in a couple of those wins they had, right? Yeah. He was really popping off as well. So I feel like rather than him being the issue here, I feel like once they start winning, once they start, you know, making some playoff runs in some of these bigger events, I feel like it won't be as much of an indictment of Attacker or anyone else, right? I think it might actually work out. So it's a mental thing at this point, man. The Vitality game, the 2v5, for example, that's just like, you look at that and you're like, yeah, you choked. You threw that one.
I don't know. I feel like Attacker's going to be in that same position of like first in, first out. Well, obviously not fucking like first in the case of like plus Attacker, minus Attacker, plus Attacker for like the last fucking
That's literally what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking when he said that.
Look, you know what? Just fucking put him back on the bench for another 2 years and then bring him out of obscurity for another like miracle run.
For another 6 months. See what happens. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, I still think that there's something there for this Tyloo roster, but it's a bit disappointing how it's gone this season, and so.
There absolutely is, dude. Like, you know, I'm looking at, look, Jamyang's a real deal. I think we can all agree on that, right? Whether they're struggling or not. I think Mercury's calling overall has been good, like from an overall macro standpoint, if not for some of the more crunch moments where everyone's clearly struggled. Ultima Mozia has been a pretty solid right-hand man. I think G has been a little too inconsistent for me, right? When it popped off, it was looking fucking great. But you know, everyone loves him for his personality and everything, and he seems like a super lovely, great guy in his ice cream and everything. But when push comes to shove, that has to come up at every conversation we have about Tyloo. I feel like he's just too inconsistent, right? I look at a couple of these rounds where I think it was an overpass as well against Payne, where he has the op towards short and just completely whiff shots. You shouldn't be whiffing at this level of competition. Look, you compare yourself to any of the top 7, 8 operas in the world out there, or even top 10, they would be hitting these shots, and he just seems to miss too many sitters. That is a problem. That is a chink in the armor. Well,
he's not very replaceable if you look at the rest of the Chinese scene. So maybe
just get like danking back out, man. Just get danking out.
Maybe like his ice cream, he is being chilling a little bit too much. What do you think, Jordan?
Speaking of which, by the way, I think I saw on Reddit. Was it on Reddit? I linked it in the Discord there.
It was on Reddit, yeah.
Some kids in Hong Kong were watching the Blast event, and they were. And I was like, they're watching Danking. How are they fucking watching Danking? These are like school students.
Can we give a little bit more context than kids in Hong Kong? It was literally a classroom environment.
Yeah,
like not just
watching Danking,
like watching the game, bro.
Crazy.
Now that is cultural fucking impact.
Yeah. Anyway, let's quickly touch on Invision as well. They obviously did not play at Blast, so we can skip over that. But Chengdu, I think there was only so much you could really say for them, right? Because they got that one win against 3D Max, which was nice. But the other teams that they played against were Furia and Vitality. So it's kind of like, well,
you're not beating them. Like,
what are you gonna do?
No way.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like
yeah,
at least
okay,
wanted to like we got to cast. I think their Vitality game. Like
Yes,
I at
we
least
did, yeah.
wanted to see something from them. I was like, oh, we got Dust 2 in the veto.
No,
like,
we
can we
cast
at
the
least
Furia
get
one. We
fucking
cast the
10
Furia
rounds or something? But they got it was Furia, right?
Yeah, it was Furia.
I was like, can we at least get like 10 rounds? Can we have some nice rounds? Maybe Zaka like puts on a clinic, with the AWP or something like that. No, got fucking fisted.
Yeah.
Didn't have any flashes of anything, unfortunately. But I mean, as we've seen since that game, Furia's gone on a fucking heater to win 2 events in a row. So, look, maybe it just wasn't the right time to be playing them.
Furia are pretty much a top 2 team in the world right now, arguably even number 1 at the moment, right? And then you have to play Vitality, where it's fucking Vitality, so it's very hard to really gauge anything from Lynn Vision. But I personally think Lynn Vision are actually in better form than Tyloo actually right now.
Yeah, no, I don't necessarily disagree.
I think Tyloo are the better team.
Yeah. Hey,
But
I'll tell you
Lynn
what.
seem to have a better form.
Well,
Maybe
perfect
3D Max, man.
time.
3D Max are, and look, there's a caveat. 3D Max have traveled from China, from Asia to EU, like 6 times in a span of like a couple of months. All right, so I'll give them the caveat over there. But 3D Max are notoriously known as the gatekeepers, right? The tier 2 gatekeepers, and they dispatched them in 2-0 fashion. I don't think Tyloo would have. I think Tyloo was somewhat choked that, it made it a 3-mapper overtime and finally choked it at the end. So I'll actually give Lynn Vision the edge here.
Yeah, I mean, we can put our money where our mouth is now as we turn our attention towards the future. Obviously, the major, and obviously, everybody loves a little tier list, a little power ranking, right?
We're doing everything.
We're doing
All the
everything.
stages.
We're doing the whole thing.
The whole fucking thing, Jordan.
The whole thing. So it should be pretty fun. You know how this goes. We obviously have done these before. But for those that are sort of new or haven't been paying attention, we'll basically just put all the teams in the list here and hope that we get everything. It looks like... Are you all right, Bleh? You chilling?
I just lost you for a second there.
Oh, okay. It's all good.
All right, I'm back. Yeah.
He just bails. He's like, I don't fucking want to do
can't
this
fucking
anymore.
do this
Fuck.
again, man.
Hello? Do you guys see me?
Yep,
That was just
literally, because you were like looking on your second monitor, and I was like, oh, he's DC'd. He's like lagged out, Anyway, so as Bleh DCs and comes back, you guys know how this works. Obviously, we rank the teams, we put them in the spots, and we'll talk about it as we go. So I think we start off with the stage 1 teams. Stage 1 teams are up to Rare Atom on this, and then from Aurora to Passion UA is stage 2, and then stage 3 are the rest. So we'll start with stage 1 teams. I think the best way to do this is to start with the 0-3 teams, and we can choose 2 of those as a collective. Now, I have my thoughts. I'm a Rare Atom hater. Are you guys as much of a Rare Atom hater as I am to put them 0-3?
Bleh just said that Lynn Vision's better than Tyloo, and Rare Atom almost just beat them. So
I'm putting Hunts. I'm putting the Hunts.
You're putting Hunts. See, I feel like Hunts
Yeah.
is one of the choices for sure.
Hunts is the
down for
easy.
Hunts.
Hunts is the most obvious pick. They haven't done anything internationally over all the times we've seen them for me to have any faith in them.
It's not like it's not like there's any Mongolian people.
9
that watch
1v4
podcasts
Spirit
anyway.
with the Deagle, so I don't know if you remember that, but that happened.
Yeah. They have a few rounds here and there. That's about it. But overall, I don't think they can
they've got
beat
score
anyone
now.
here.
The thing is, I agree. Like, logically speaking, especially considering recent history, Huns will lose to Rare Atom. If that's a 0-2 matchup, if that ends up being a 0-2 matchup, Rare Atom will win that in a BO3 every time.
Remember, it's a LAN as well.
However, I just feel like Huns have a little bit more X factor than Rare Atom to me. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's the world where, like, if they're going to cause an upset in a BO1, it's more likely to be Huns. That's my take.
Yeah, but they're not gonna.
But what about Rare Atom winning that one game at the major last time?
Yeah.
Against Fnatic.
Also, that's when they had like the boomers on the team.
Somebody.
Oh man. No,
Okay.
I would back Rare Atom over Huns, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm with Pilski here. I
Okay,
think
but here's the
Rare-
thing
Hunts.
is then, would you
You
back
really
Rare
don't like
Atom?
Rare Atom, do you?
No, I don't. Would you back Rare Atom?
Chris is honest about it,
A salty beta.
Maybe I'm just a Kaze
XW.
fanboy. Maybe I just want Kaze back, you know?
Oh,
bench
okay.
your boy.
Okay, you know
for
what?
kicking Kaze.
You know what? I can fuck with that.
Benching
yeah.
Kaze, putting Marek in, denying Kaze stickers, and then
Oh, mate,
and it seems like
Marek- I
Marek
forgot
might not
Marek
even
too.
play. Yeah. Okay.
That's
So here's the actual thing though: is it a world where it's both Rare Atom and Hun 03? Like, are they the 2 best rare candidates, or the other ones that I've seen thrown around, particularly the red candidates? What do you think? Because listen, if anyone should not put Asian Team 03, it should be us.
I
But
put
do we?
red cannons. I put red cannons as my 0-3 stage 1.
I did too.
Oh.
I had red cannons
Yep.
and rare atom. So
Okay.
I'm happy to go with that.
I know it's a boring answer, but yeah. Actually, no. Did I put red cannons or did I put Fluxo? Yeah, I put red cannons. Yeah.
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 All right. Looks
Alright,
fine
easy.
to me.
Yep. So, next question is, which of these teams from NRG to Legacy on this list, or Legacy to NRG, will remain stuck in stage 1?
Oh, remain stuck in stage 1.
Yeah.
Oh,
How many is
can
there
tell.
again?
8. We need 8 for stage 1, and then
I'll tell you.
the other 8
NRG.
goes stage 2. Yeah.
NRG.
NRG?
Let's quickly put it in. Yeah, quickly, and then we can talk about them.
NRG, M80, Fluxo, Paravision, and this might be a bit of a hot take, but I think NIP.
You think Nip stays? So that
Yeah.
would mean we have this.
FlyQuest.
This. Wait. Yeah. So that's our 8.
No,
1, 2,
no,
3,
no,
4,
no, no,
6.
no, no. Lynn, Lynn
sorry,
over.
yeah, that was a misclick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be our 8 teams progressing to stage 2 from stage 1, our 6 teams remaining stuck, and our red cannons. Now, what I would say is,
Go on.
I think Paravision's potentially a pretty interesting shout to go through
Over whom?
over Imperial, who never do anything at majors.
I don't know, man. I feel like Imperial actually might manage to, come out on top this time.
Otherwise, I'm kind of on board with this. Although Lynn Vision, I'm also kind of a little bit, I feel like Lynn Vision can definitely lose
I think
to some
Lynn
of these
Vision
teams.
progressing is major cat. Like they have never
They've
been
not looked
weaker.
good. They've not looked
They
good
have
lately.
not looked good. Like they
Yeah.
beat 3D Max and that's it. But like I feel like beating 3D Max, who are like trying to make the game as hard as possible for themselves with the travel, is not anything to write home about.
I agree with you. Like, look, logically speaking, I
Dude, Lynn
would.
Vision just struggled to beat Marek, bro. You telling me they're going through the major? Come on, bro.
Yeah, that's the thing. Lynn can do something, man. Listen, are you guys haters or what? Like, logically speaking,
Yes.
I would pit NIP over Lynn Vision. All right, that's the most reasonable one for me. 'Cause look, let's just run through everything. Legacy for me are a trio team, like legit trio. They're a fucking sick team.
Yep,
really,
agreed.
really solid, and,
Yep.
and they're going to eat
Yep.
everyone alive.
They're the best team
in the
in the
stage.
stage,
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
FaZe are not going to be 3-0, but they're going to fucking make it. It's fucking FaZe.
Yep.
Right, you got to believe the FaZe bullshit. Bait have had a lot of ups and downs, but they've been grinding so much, and I like them fundamentally. And even though I don't expect them to make a very deep run, I think they have what it takes to make the next stage.
Did well in
Game
stage
Legion
1
is-
last time too.
Yeah, and then exactly, and then you have Game of Legion, who often few the changes they had. They lost Tanir. Wait, that was heroic. Sorry, my bad. What was it?
They have made
lost, I
changes.
forgot.
They made AWP
The,
change,
the,
right?
the AWP situation has been shit for Game of Legion, but still, recently they finally managed to get the shit together. I feel like, and it should be enough to put them to the next stage. Fnatic have Blame F, and I feel like they have just shown enough, even though it's kind of a little rocky. Remember, they have their old Passion UA core right now back together. There was an entire thing with Cypher getting kicked and whatnot. I think they go through. FlyQuest are my pick of all the Asian teams, not call the Mongols, to make a deep fucking run. They look fucking great right now, despite the fact they didn't make it to the next stage last time. It was a very close series they had, but with Azure at the helm, I think they're gonna make it very comfortable. So I think that's my explanation of all these picks. Lynn Vision is just because fuck yeah, Asian Counter-Strike.
Yeah. No, I mean, I
do
can get
think
behind that.
M80 or NRG might be a little bit underrated. Like I actually don't mind watching them sometimes. I think like one of the
over
NA
NIP.
teams. Probably not, but again, it comes down to like who gets drawn against.
Okay, what
who
if we
at the end
power
of the
rank
day.
these teams in their thing? So left to right being strongest to
Oh,
weakest.
okay. You actually want to
put-
do that? I think M80. I think Nip over Paravision maybe, but like I don't really know enough.
I
to
put
be
Nip. I
confident
put
on
Nip
that.
in the first for me. Yeah.
Yeah. I would put Lynn Vision like behind M80, Paravision, and Nip
All
personally.
right.
but
All right.
think
Let's not get too fucking crazy with FlyQuest there. I definitely played one tournament.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would have them above Legacy personally.
I'd-
Has nothing to do
Fuck.
with Red Bull.
I'd put Bait above FlyQuest and Fnatic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Think it's like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd say
that's
so.
fine.
Yeah, that's all right.
I think
I
Lynn
like
Vision's
this.
a little overrated,
See,
but it's fine. I'll let it go.
I'm also not such a big fan of Imperial after the last major. I mean, I think they went 2-3 at the last major, right?
I think it's okay to swap out Nip and Imperial. What do you guys think?
I would sooner probably
Sure.
have Nip over Imperial personally.
Yeah, do it then. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
We already have our fucking Brazilian team.
But I would probably put Paravision over here too, to be honest. But
I wouldn't put Paravision, man.
close
I don't
enough.
have faith.
Close enough is good enough.
Close enough.
I put Nib over Lynn Vision there. Like I just thought this.
All right. So see, Nip's starting to go up. You know what I mean? Like,
I think Lynn Vision is kind of shit right now. I'm not gonna lie.
I agree, but I feel like they just have this
They have a little bit of X
when it
factor,
comes to the
yeah.
events. Yeah, when it comes
Yeah.
to these majors, especially, they just somehow pull something off, man.
they're good in
always
BO1s.
do.
They are good in BO1s. We'll give them that. They seem to
Yeah.
get Dust 2 every time in BO1s as well. So, I think, yeah, I kind of agree with the take that Lynn Vision is probably in a bad spot, but I also kind of agree with the take that actually they might be peaking at the major. Because that's what they normally do. So let's see how they go. I think
right.
I'm pretty happy with this. But then now stage 3. Obviously these teams here, stage 2 teams up to Passion UA, and then of those teams plus the teams that are in stage 2 right now, we can promote 8 to stage 3. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and put Aurora in easily. I think 3D Max probably also easily, assuming they're playing.
I
level.
actually don't know. I put Liquid.
Liquid in quote unquote easily. Na'Vi, Astralis, Tyloo for me is probably just staying in stage 2.
Yeah.
MIBR staying in
Okay.
stage 2. Passion UA, Astralis, Na'Vi, I can be convinced going up to stage 3 as well.
I can see Na'Vi and Astralis going up to stage
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we need 8 teams, right?
So I'll just put Passion here just for ease. And it's
Yeah.
of these teams, we need another 3. 3 out of these teams here.
Legacy. I mean,
Legacy.
Legacy goes up for sure.
And just because I might be a bit biased, and as much as Fate I don't have in them right now, I don't know, man. I put FaZe there.
No, that's cap. But at
No-
the same
no-
time,
no-
I don't
no
know.
Fate?
I don't know. Like that's the thing. I look at all of these teams and I'm like, do I really rate all of these above FaZe? I don't fucking know. And I think FaZe is like pretty bad at the moment. Like,
It's just that I agree. It's been looking rough. It's rough.
it would make sense narrative-wise for FaZe to have.
It just doesn't make sense, man. You have like Twists and fucking Brokey.
I mean,
on
this
that
is
team.
totally not the fucking problem right now. Like, bro,
I know.
Chengdu was like, oh my god, bro, what
Yeah.
the?
And
fuck
also the
is
poor
this?
new kid Jacob, dude. Like, okay,
Fuck it,
listen,
I'm not
fuck it.
putting FaZe
Fuck
through.
it.
We're not
You're
putting
not-
FaZe through. Fuck that.
I'm putting FaZe through.
Okay,
So
Dylan,
I'm
you're
the deciding
tiebreaker.
factor here.
Yeah, you gotta choose.
Let's think about it logically. BO3. Does FaZe beat Game Legion? Yay or nay?
No.
Yeah.
I think that's a
maybe.
50-50.
Yeah,
Does FaZe beat Bait? I think
Yes.
yay. Does FaZe beat FlyQuest? I think 50-50, actually. Maybe 60-40 FaZe.
Best of 3 would be a promotion or an elimination game, and I'll tell you one thing with
Fucking 3-2
FlyQuest,
match for
they have
sure.
always struggled. Once they get 2-0 at the last 2 majors, they've gone 2-0 and they've lost all the best of 3s. They haven't won a single best of 3 yet.
Well, I mean, it could
Even
be a
though they look
1-1
good.
match. 1-1 would be a BO3, right?
No,
No, is it a BO1 as well?
it's a BO1, yeah.
It's BO1
Yeah,
until
it's only
elimination.
advanced
progresses.
Until
or
elimination
elimination, that's best
or,
of 3.
yeah,
Fuck, okay.
promotion.
Okay, so what did we say? If they're in a BO3, FaZe beats FlyQuest? Yeah.
Yep.
It depends. If it's like the 2-1 match, then I think FlyQuest could beat them. But if it's the 1-2 or the 2-2 match, then I think they
True,
could.
true. Okay, but that's like, let's say that's a 50-50.
There's so many caveats there.
Fnatic, FaZe wins.
FaZe wins.
NIP,
FaZe wins.
FaZe wins.
FaZe wins.
Lynn,
FaZe beats everyone. I think
wins.
ironically, I think Passion UA would be their toughest opposition right now.
yeah, I think that's fair. I think also Tyloo could maybe beat FaZe on a good day as well. But I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
just doing that exercise makes me think FaZe would beat enough of the field that we've got here to say they
Yep.
probably would make it. So I'm gonna say they
Yeah.
make it.
So how many we got? We got
that's-
7. We need one more.
We need one more out of these.
You guys are so sure with the 3D Max.
I think
Funnily enough-
Max, I didn't even see.
Funnily enough, you know what? I could make a case for Game Legion, Bait, FlyQuest, Fnatic, Nip, and Tyloo, and maybe even Lynn Vision beating 3D Max in a good day.
But you
And
think
definitely in a best of
on
one.
a good day for sure. But
And
like,
I would replace them with Passion UA.
the thing is, 3D Max I thought looked pretty good maybe like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
You know, they were on a bit of a rise, but then they did this whole stinky travel schedule and started poo-pooing it a little bit. So I'm talking to the 5-year-olds that are watching the podcast. So
Look, sure, they've had time to rest, to reset, and everything. And
Yeah.
logically speaking, yeah, sure, they should be able to get it out. But Yeah, fair enough. If I look at the entire season as a whole, they have had enough reps. They have beaten enough teams to definitely get there. Yeah, cool. I can live with this.
What if we just put FlyQuest Tyloo through? We just call it a day.
I mean, okay, so here's the teams that just have recently beaten 3D Max, by the way, that are in this conversation. Lynn Vision 2-1 at Chengdu. Astralis at Bucharest 2-0. FlyQuest at Bucharest 2-1. Bait 2-0 at Bucharest. Legacy 3-2 at CAC. At CAC, they beat Liquid. They beat Fnatic. They beat Lynn Vision. They lost to Legacy twice. And they beat Huns. I mean, Huns are not here. So yeah. So that's like probably the last couple of months. Those are the teams they've beaten and lost to.
Yeah, that's again because of the insane travel.
I mean, you can definitely look at that and say maybe there's an argument for like a FlyQuest, maybe like a very safe argument, obviously, for Astralis. We've already got them going through. You could make an argument maybe for Envision based on that over 3D Max potentially. So I think it's just a vibes thing. What's the vibes? Where are you both at? Yay, nay versus for 3D Max progression?
I kind of want to put a FlyQuest stage 3.
FlyQuest Tyloo, fuck it. Let's send it. Let's send it. It's Asia.
I'm not fully convinced on Tyloo, but I really have a feeling in my ball sack right now, and it's not, and it is not a tumor. It's FlyQuest making it to the next stage. I just feel it.
I'll be the judge of that later. Let me check for you.
All right,
man.
As a friend.
I'm gonna write that down because that's the clip that's gonna be the.
I got a feeling in my ball sack, and it's not,
and it's FlyQuest.
That's the.
I think that's cancer, actually. But anyway.
Well, that's the layers of this, by the way.
Yeah.
Look, wait. Before this is the toughest one, right? So
can we rank these stage 2 teams and see if that changes opinions like it did with NIP in stage 1?
I think here's the thing with Passion UA, right? They looked very solid overall, but it was against that one game against the Mongols, right? And we haven't seen them enough together for a while. I think Kvem, while he's a great addition to the team, I don't think he's been as tested in a high-stakes environment. They've only played his Draculans and these local small lands. They're actually playing right now, I think, in about an hour's time as well. So I think the potential is there. I think Grim is fucking solid right now. Halzog's delivering as well, but I just feel like they haven't had enough official reps for me to put them on top. Potential-wise, I think they can almost equal. Yeah, almost equal to everyone else, but... just for the vibes, Mr. Jam Young on top.
Okay, so what do you guys think about my left to right? You reckon that's kind of on point?
Okay. I actually, I just don't think they've had enough reps yet. I think I'd put them just below Fnatic.
Right here.
They just haven't had. Yeah. They haven't had enough reps yet, man.
I mean, okay, fair. I don't know if I necessarily agree that.
But I mean, let's look at it logically, right? I know I've been like I know I'm kind of flip-flopping a little bit with them, but if you look at the run, it's only the Mongols win, which was, a great job from them. But then they lost to the Falcons in Pain, which is like Falcons. But Falcons was a very, very close loss, by the way. 13-11, 13-10, and then sure, they got completely battered by Pain. They beat the Mongols, and then you look at the some of the lands they played. They won the Urban Riga event where they beat.
They did much better than FlyQuest at Draculan as well. If we're so high on FlyQuest.
True. They also lost to OG in Draculan in season 2. They've been beating the teams they should be beating. You know what I mean? Like Zero Tenacity, Basement Boys, Eyeballers, all these guys. These are like tier 2.5 teams basically, right?
Yep.
And sure, they've done the job, but can they beat teams of this caliber? Maybe 1 or 2 of them, but not all of them. So I'd actually rank them. I think this is fair. I think where they are right now is fair.
I could put them like maybe here personally, but
nah, man. I think Bait have done enough, dude. Like if you look at Bait,
let's split the difference and put them in the middle.
Yeah, fine.
Sure.
I'm okay with that.
All right. What about the stage 3 teams? In order. I think that's kind of okay, actually.
What's the top one say? I'm getting fucking old. What's the red one?
The red one's champion contenders.
Champion contenders.
I put Legacy above Liquid, bro.
Yep. I don't think that's too unreasonable based on form. All right.
Astralis look miserable. Na'Vi look miserable. FaZe don't look miserable, but they are playing miserable. FlyQuest, Tyloo, and yeah, I think this is fair. I think this is perfect. Yeah.
Fuck, man. If fucking FlyQuest and Tyloo make it to stage 3, dude, what the fuck? There's just no way, bro. I can't believe this, but anyway, whatever.
We will do, we will do a live, like, stream on Kick where we just like start Yeah, just masturbate each other, like, live on camera. Like, fuck yeah.
I wasn't going to go there, but all right. Fucking hell.
That goes on the buymeacoffee.com specials, you know, like.
Which is why I
That's
said
pay-per-view, bro.
Because that's only place can go stream now for the major.
Bro, I think you need to get on like free cams or some shit like that. That's a bit more of a better platform.
All right. Stage 3 into playoffs. Who's making it from stage 3 into playoffs? Of these 16 teams, including the teams at
Furia,
the bottom.
Vitality, Falcons, Mouse. Lock that in.
Furia, Vitality,
Spirit.
Falcons, Mouse,
Spirit. Now we think.
G2.
Man, I want to say Mongolz, but I just don't know. I don't know. That's the thing. I can't give you a reasoning. I think Aurora go through.
I agree.
And this might sound crazy. And it's not even crazy. I think this is spicy. Everything's great. Yes.
Like,
Yes. Yep. I have faith in them, man. I have faith in them.
And
I don't think they're gonna. I don't think that they're gonna make a deep run, but I think playoffs is very, very reasonable from Legacy.
I think it's got to be G2 here.
G2,
surely.
right? G2. I have an inkling they're gonna do it.
I don't know.
This hurts, man.
Yeah, but I think it's right. I think it's right though.
Yeah,
That's right, but it's also so wrong, like not having Mongols in the playoffs. But
but how can you BO3 versus any of these teams? They've just lost to Spirit. They kind of got handed.
And it's not even their. I mean, it's not even their fault, right? Last minute replacement. You lose a star player. Like, what can you do? And Controlez, there's so much you can do. I can't even blame him. You can't blame anyone for this. And yes, they've had. The good thing is, if I'm going to make a case of the Mongols, the good thing is they played 2 events, right? Chengdu looked fucking great, right? They lost to a very good team. They beat Spirit as well. Hong Kong was rough, okay? It was very rough. I think the team just looked super disjointed. I don't think it was just individuals, so to speak. They've had time to kind of like prep. I think they're doing a boot camp right now, so they're definitely coming in prep for this fucking event, for the major at least. And Controlez has now had quite a number of reps in front of live audiences as well, which is going to be, by the way, a case in Bucharest, where I think a lot of the teams at the beginning stages, we're not used to playing in front of a crowd. They're going to struggle because of the crowd environment and everything. And if the rest of the team, not even mentioning Controlez, but the rest of the team played like 80% of what they usually do equally, everyone carries their own weight, and they have a good matchup, let's say against someone like Aurora, right, as a promotion game, or maybe Spirit on a bit of a tilt day, bit of a bad day, for example, or Legacy on an off day, I think they can potentially make it. But I'm putting in so many caveats here that I can't, in good faith, put them through. I would still put them as potentially above Pain. Actually, no, this is fair.
They did lose to Pain. They did lose to Pain.
Yeah, Pain have looked good recently
twice,
as well.
Did they? Or just maybe it was once, but they definitely did lose to them recently. But yeah, I think this is... I'm pretty happy with this, to be honest. Obviously, now we can choose our champion contenders. Now, last time we did this, I remember you guys were pretty staunchly saying there's only 2 champion contenders because obviously there's 2 teams in the grand final. My take is like, if you see them being a team that could win the major, that goes in champion contenders. But if you only want to pick 2, we can do that as well.
Furia, Mongolz, Vitality. I'd rather pick
Vitality.
3.
I'm putting Furia and Vitality only, because if you put in Mouse, that means you have to put it. That's the thing, because I think Mouse and Falcons have a very similar thing. I think Falcons higher up than Mouse right now. They have the one common problem. They just fail to deliver when they absolutely need to. Both of them. Right, we've seen this.
Mouse are they're like perma third, fourth. Like they're in the semi-final every single tournament this year, pretty much, except for like one back in February, like the Blast tournament, the very first Blast tournament of the year. And apart from that, they've been like top 4, but they've never made the final, pretty much. Like it's crazy. Like it's actually
and it's not just about and you can even make a case, it's against Vitality, but no, it's not just against Vitality. It's just that they faced against Vitality quite a number of times in all these playoff games, but against other teams as well. When they need to make the final step, I feel like they struggle. I would actually potentially put Falcons there, but they haven't yet broken that curse. You know what I mean? Winning an event.
If they would have won Blast Rivals, then we would have been...
I'd 100% be putting them alongside Furia and Vitality. But Furia, no matter how... I mean, Furia's story has just been so fucking insane, right? But from a team roster change, which happened in April, where everyone went, what the actual fuck? Awash Yakinda, getting this kid from Kazakh, no one really knows about, from Kazakhstan, and switching to English, and to now winning 4 out of the past 5 events they've played, beating Vitality, beating Falcons. and playing each of these games as a fucking underdog, all these best of fives, and still coming out on top, they absolutely are contenders for the championship. And Vitality, they still have to be there.
They also just like deliver fucking good series, man. Like every time I
Bro,
watch
it's so
Fury,
exciting.
like every time, it's been a while since even Vitality, I wouldn't be that excited. Like if on HLTV, I see if Vitality's playing, I'd be like, I might tune in. Like if it's a final, I'll definitely watch. But Furia, I feel like I'm kind of starting to follow Furia's games. Like I'm actually enjoying fucking watching Furia.
Feel like, okay, is this a wild statement? Furia is the modern day FaZe. Furia is 2025's version of FaZe. Because they're just like that team where you're like, fuck, this team's sick. Don't know why they're sick, but they are fucking sick.
Legit, like you have like Mongolz is a sick fucking all praise, exciting to watch. K Serato's a fucking beast, like consistent rifler. You Kindar can
awesome storyline.
Do a fucking nuke T side.
You always expect something, you know, like it's not like
IGL, like legend in the scene. I can see it.
I wouldn't, you know, I see where you're coming from, Jordan, but I would disagree, mainly because FaZe from its inception has always been like the super team, right? When they were made, they were always a super team. This is just a Frankenstein's monster of a team, which it doesn't make any sense. Like you said, Fallen's giving up the op to a complete unknown, who turns out to be the rookie of the year, you know, the most exciting opera we have, right? A top 3 opera in the world in the form of Molodoi. No one saw that coming. No one saw Fallen being a very competent rifler. Bro, he's popping hits against some of the best riflers in the world. It's actually nutty to see. Case Rod Yuri transitioning to English speaking. Not that they haven't done it in the past when they had junior and everything, but still looking super comfortable. And Yakinder's like renaissance in his career when everyone thought he was washed. You know, he was washed at the end of his stint in Liquid. Comes back and bro, this is like watching old VP Yakinder single-handedly just opening up sites, but wiser, smarter is also, you can clearly see that there is this synergy in the team with just it's missing in a lot of other teams. You look at the body language of all these other top-tier teams. I'm talking about like top 8 teams. When they lose rounds or lose matches, you can see how even some like a Spirit, for example, right? People are bickering, it's looking rough. You look at Fallen and his men, it's like, you know, power of friendship. It's just so fun to watch. So yeah, very, very unique team. So I think they're in their own definition, so to speak. So I'd say not even FaZe, man.
Yeah.
The only other thing I wanted to sort of touch on here was the slot allocation, obviously, for Asia. If we remember, we picked up an extra slot, or an extra 2 slots, actually, because of what Mongolz and Lynn were able to do at the last major. I wanted to discuss whether or not we think they can be held on to or improved upon or whatever. And based on the list that we've got here, we would lose a stage 3 slot because no Asian team would make it into playoffs.
Yeah,
I expect to be honest. That's my expectation at the moment. I really don't feel like the strength of the Asian teams is what it is, and part of that comes down to I think Mongolz is falling off a little bit with what's happened.
But the good news is, worst case scenario, the 6 slots are actually maintained because no team would make playoffs, let's say, but Mongolz starts in stage 3, therefore we get a stage 2 slot. No team improves upon the stage 2 to stage 3 jump that we saw from the last one as well, where Lynn made it to stage 3. However, we start with a stage 2 slot because of Lynn performance. Therefore, worst case scenario, that stage 2 slot turns into a stage 1 slot. So next major, instead of having a stage 3 slot and a stage 2 slot and 4 stage 1 slots, we would have a stage 2 slot and 5 stage 1 slots, which would be still 6 slots. So that's I think good, I guess, at least in that sense.
It's also like, you know, I'm talking, the slots are great and everything, right? It's good for the region, it's good for some of the smaller teams coming in. But I think looking at how we've, you know, come up with this power ranking list, it's also lays bare to see what we've been saying for the past year and a half. Take away Mongolz, the Asian scene still struggles quite a bit, right?
Yeah.
There's no real
I mean, we got FlyQuest and Tyloo going through. Technically, at this point, we're going to have 3 stage 2 slots at the next major.
Sure. So, but I'm just talking about like overall gap, right? FlyQuest coming up like recently has been. I hope it's going to sustain. It's just one event, right? It's been great. Yeah. Tyloo is more about fucking us, huffing that hopium up our assholes. Right, at this point, you're like, yes, surely they're going to do it this time. Yeah, but
that we're trying to
sell
that story.
Do I have any faith?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
And that's it's kind of rough, you know.
I mean, the thing for me is like, I don't know, like, are we putting? Is this the classic Greyhound / FlyQuest bait that we're falling into again, where we're like, putting this crazy like to say, oh, they're going to make it to stage 3 after not having made it out of stage 1 2 majors in a row. You know, we're putting this expectation on this team. We're going to come away from this major and be like, man, FlyQuest fucking suck. And it was like, yeah, but that's only because you thought they were going to go to stage 3, cunt. Like, what do you want from these guys? Like, I think if they make stage 2, we should just be stoked, to be honest. That's really where we have to sit with regard to FlyQuest.
I think, look, the way I'm looking at FlyQuest right now is they made all these changes, and I've been personally critical of a couple of changes they've made as well, but you know, they've done it. They look very, very good in Bucharest as well. I think making it out of stage 1 is just not even a bare minimum. It's like an expectation. Like that's something that you absolutely need to do.
I think so too.
And then I'm looking at the teams below them over there, and I'm like,
beatable.
Look, that's a point. Beatable. And they need to get it done. If they don't do it, like, you know, this is the 3rd time. If they can't get it done this time around, I'm completely done with the core of this team.
Okay.
Honestly, like, you know, dude, 3 majors in a row, man, and they always have this great starts, 2-0.
Okay, let me ask you this:
fumble it.
What is the core of this team at this point? That's the actual question, because they've made so many changes that the core of the team has changed. It's Ins and Vexite. That's it.
Ins and Vexite, and
that's the core.
That's fine, fair enough.
Or maybe Regali now, because he's been there for like almost 12 months. But at the end of this major, he will have been there for 12 months. Ins, Vexite, Regali, that's the core.
Yeah, the core's not even there, right?
Exactly. Like the core's just changed, like so dramatically over 12 months.
Okay. Let me rephrase that. With Aussies, yes.
Oh my God,
With
he's a hater.
OCS.
He's a fucking hater, bro.
I'm not a
This
hater.
guy hasn't heard of Thunder Down Under, who didn't have a great showing in their first game of CCT, I'll say, but they were okay.
I'm not a hater. I'm a lover, and just like every Asian dad out there, you know, APAC dad, I will hate because I love.
Fair enough. All right, last topic for the major discussion, then we can move on to the last little couple of ancillary topics. I felt like, say, 6 months ago, or let's say at the end of the Austin major, the next major is going to be a fucking banger for Asia. You know, spirits were super high, okay? Mongols had... Take your mind back. We're going to go through like a history lesson here. Mongols have just qualified to a major final for the first time. They've had the best major for an Asian team ever in the history of Counter-Strike Global Offensive onwards. Lynn Vision have just made stage 3.
Yeah.
Tyloo have just won Fisher.
Yep.
The next major is going to be fucking awesome for Asia, okay?
Yeah.
It's going to be the best major we've seen in ages. Now, how do you feel about the major coming up after having seen the season? Because I think at the end of the last major, coming into this season, we're like, this is going to be the season where finally we're going to see Asia hit that level which we've been praying for the last 5-10 years, okay?
Yeah.
But I feel like it has kind of taken a bit of a nosedive in my vibe check, right? Throughout this season, we've seen Lynn Vision fall down a little bit. We've seen Tyloo fall down a little bit. Okay, same necessary maybe for some of these other teams. I would look at maybe FlyQuest as at least worst case it's stagnating, if not slightly improving. Rare Atom, I could almost even make the argument actually lately that they have been on the improve. As much as I hate to say that, Huns, I think it's kind of whatever. Like fucking who cares? Mongols have definitely taken a massive downward trend. So to me, the top 3 teams, which was Mongols, Lynn Vision, Tyloo, significant downtrend. Rare Atom, FlyQuest, maybe stagnating / slightly improving. But that's not enough to pick up the slack, I think, that's going to be left by Tyloo and Lynn Vision potentially falling off here. So I, unfortunately, even though I would have had massive high hopes for this major coming into it 3 months ago, now kind of feel like this might not be the major that we hope for Asia, unfortunately. I know based on our power ranking list here, we've got FlyQuest and Mongols going stage 3, whatever, but I really wouldn't be surprised to see this all just fucking go up in smoke. Lynn Vision don't make it out of stage 1, Tyloo, FlyQuest don't make it out, or FlyQuest don't make it out of stage 1, Tyloo don't make it out of stage 2, Mongols don't make it out of stage 3. Everyone just fucking bombs it in their stage. I would really not be surprised. What do you guys think?
This could be like the worst major for Asia.
It feels like
in
it
a
could
while.
be. Because the expectation level is high. Not astronomically high, but it's high still. And it could just be like bombed. It could actually be bombed, I think.
I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of variance because not only because of the Asian teams, but also because I feel like a lot of the teams, and this is like when we were looking at like stage 2, stage 3 in particular, even less so to stage 1 to some extent. But particularly between stage 2 and stage 3, I feel like there's a bunch of teams that are like fucking massive question marks. Like they could just completely go missing or they could do really well. So I feel like the Asian teams placements is also going to benefit a lot from how random some of the teams are right now.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on then. We'll see.
That was depressing.
Hey. I know.
It's true.
I'm just going to give a shout out to Yosh. I don't know if you guys know Yosh. He's a frequent viewer. His name is
Yoshi or Yosh?
Yosh. He's in our Discord
Yoshi.
as Yosh. I think he has got a Yoshi Yoshi avatar. But he's on YouTube. His name is like username 90 something, a bunch of letters. Anyway, he is the ultimate Asia CS coper, and he has been telling me to respect Marek, respect Rare Atom. We'll see. I will give you a shout out, Yosh. If they win, this is your shout out in advance. If Asia performs really well, because I know he'll be here in the comments like, "This is going to be Asia's best major ever," but he says that every time, and it never is. So
He's going to be right someday.
he'll be right eventually. Shout out Yosh. All right. And actually, here is a good transition because this is one of the reasons why I'm a little bit like, I don't know about Lynn Vision. We were talking about this last night. This is the ESL Challenger League Asia Pacific Final. Have a look at this fucking result, by the way. Jesus Christ. Lynn Vision 3-2 versus Rare Atom. So they do take the ESL Pro League slot. So they do, do what we thought that they probably should by winning this season of ECL. But fuck me, it took a grind.
Fucking casters had to really fucking work for their money there. Jesus
Neo
Christ.
and Scriv were casting this one. It started...
Oh, poor guys.
Started midnight, ANZ time, so midnight Brisbane time, sorry. Which, I was like, oh man, I was like, I wish I could cast the Asia final. That'd be fucking sick. I'd like to cast the Asia
Till
final.
6 a.m. cunt.
But
Fucking hell.
I was like, I woke up in the morning, checked the result. I was like, thank God they didn't put us on this game. Jesus. I asked Neo. He said it took nearly 7 hours. This game.
No, wait, midnight your time. So it's like 7:30 p.m. like 7 p.m. my time, like India time, basically.
Yeah, it'd be like
Or
9-10 p.m. China time.
So it's either 9 o'clock around their time in wherever they're playing.
Yep.
So it went on to like 3-4 a.m. Holy shit.
Yeah. Apparently it took
I
7
don't
hours.
know why they're starting it that late, by the way.
Yeah,
It
for a
never
best of 5.
But whatever.
I'll tell you why I think it is because the ANZ final is supposed to be on before that, and it's scheduled to be starting at whatever time, let's say 5 p.m. Australia time, or 7 p.m. Australia time. They give that time then so that it doesn't clash with Asia. Obviously, it didn't happen in this case because Semper won everything. Woo! Congratulations, Semper. But fucking hell.
Didn't even have a file.
It didn't have a final. But Westmelon, 126 and 101 over this series. Pretty good. 125 and 95 from Tiger.
Bro, dropped 100 bomb.
100 bomb. When have you ever dropped a 100 bomb? I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, actually, this is 25 kills a map.
Yeah,
by the way.
Tiger low-key.
That's
kind of
crazy.
Popping off.
So, I don't know. Also, by the way, Marek, 66 and 105. That guy.
I
that guy's going to farm the major.
Why is bro in the team? Like, what have they seen in that guy to be like, this is who we need? Like, what the fuck
We
do
need Marek.
Marek is what we need.
Marek, my goat. 32-year-old. I mean,
he's 32-year-old talent. He's Taiwanese. We're not even like respecting the like. We need full China. Like we're not even trying to.
he
be
had a
Irish
good
racist.
series. He had a good series against the Huns. He had a positive. series
Against the Huns, guys.
He had a positive series against Fengda. Chinggis Warriors.
Shut the fuck up, George. Shut the fuck up.
Fengda mentioned on the podcast.
Fengda mentioned. All right.
What about
Anyway,
my boy Chen King?
Chen King. Well, apparently, there's some roster changes potentially coming for Rare Atom, and from what I've seen in people in the Discord who are a little bit more in touch with what's happening on Rare Atom, because I just don't look at what's happening with Rare Atom for the most part. They've been saying, I think they've been saying Chen King might play instead of Marek, but that could be cap. That could be cap. So if I'm getting baited by the Discorders, sorry. If not, then.
Just fucking
Leaks.
put somebody back in the roster, bro. Fuck it.
Put anybody back in the roster at this point. All right, yeah, that's ECL Asia. That's ECLOs. Not really much to touch on there. Semper won everything. So they go to ESL Pro League. So congratulations and good luck, Semper. And the last topic of the day, we're talking about Skyesports again, which I never really thought we would do because I thought Skyesports was going to be gone. But Pilski and I actually worked this event, and low key, we were like, you know what? That was actually not that bad. So I was like, we've kind of talked shit about Skyesports in the past on the podcast. Now they've done something good. Let's say something nice about them. And I actually think this was a really good event for the most part. I mean, there was obviously some ups and downs, but for the most part, actually, probably the best run event by Skyesports in the last 2 years.
I had medium to low expectations coming into the event. I was pleasantly surprised. The only issue really that I had is that I felt like the games took ages to start. I feel like they needed like a pushy stage manager and like a better admin to like just like grab impression and like drag him to the desk and sit him down in his chair and get in the server. Like get in the fucking server right now. You know, that's what they needed. But outside of that, everything was fucking good, honestly.
I had the opportunity to watch this event online, and I'll give you my 2 cents real quickly. Firstly, let's start with the good. I think it's the best Counter-Strike event they've ever done. It's not the biggest. It doesn't have to be, and I think they finally
they needed to take a step back after.
And I think that's one thing which I have been harping on time and time again ever since they got into Counter-Strike. Was like, guys, it doesn't have to be a big fucking event every single time. Do a small prize pool one, do like a tier 2 small LAN, get a couple of Asian teams, a couple of Indian teams, a couple of international teams, and that's exactly what they did over here, right? And I don't think I heard any real complaints coming out. There were no threads of anyone bitching about it. The only complaint I had was on the English stream. It was on an L screen. Where the game was like just 70%, and I'm trying to watch on my phone in a bar. I'm like, guys, I can't zoom in and watch this. So maybe from a broadcast 101 perspective, where TOs are out there trying to just min-max the real estate on your screen, they could have done a better job there. But overall, yeah, I agree with you. I think they did a very solid job overall. No one really complained, even privately as well. I spoke to a couple of the teams, and they're like, no real complaints. That's the one. Third place aside is kind of weird though. But apart from that,
so based. Me and Pilski, we rocked up for our day of casting. BO1.
I personally thought that was great. I think that's the best decision.
I'll do that again.
Made.
I would do that again.
I had to rock up
fire
and cast
or whatever.
An hour.
It's a bit weird though, but yeah. Apart from that, no real issues. Again, listen, when you're talking about the turnaround times for the games, it's also like when you decide to do a stage setup, right? It is always going to take time. It's always going to take time for the turnaround to happen, and I feel like they obviously haven't done. They've done a few events, I'm sure, but they haven't done it to a solid level. But what a lot of other TOs do is like hot swapping on SSDs and all those things, right? That makes it way more faster. But hey, if they do a couple more lands like this, they can hopefully get back what has been a pretty tarnished reputation they've had so far. So something good coming out from India.
I think like the producer as well was pretty good on our end.
Coven, shout out.
Like the stage host, I think was actually pretty fucking legit.
I looked her up, by the way. Yeah,
and she was fucking holding it.
Do you know why?
Bro. Holy shit!
Do you know why? It's because she fucking hosts at the IPL, bro. Okay, and if you know anything about cricket, the IPL is like the biggest thing in fucking India. All right, so she's actually legit. She's actually real.
More legit than any of us.
She's not esports. She was a pro.
It's when you hire competent people, things work out. It's great.
Yeah. I mean, look, I will say, great stuff. I think Skyesports did what they needed to do with this event. We had our recommendations after the last event that we saw when we were talking about it on Geographically Challenged. We said scale it down, make it a bit more Asia centric, try and invite maybe 1 or 2 teams to test themselves for the Asia teams, and that's exactly what happened here. Big and Musketeers come. They're obviously not top teams necessarily, but they're good enough, and they're teams that are interested in a tournament like this one because it gives them some VRS points there for both big and some big ones for Musketeers. Again, we're not expecting Deep Cross, Nemesis, Wicked Rise to really do anything, but for those teams, the more important thing is just getting a LAN to play out, that was kind of a good thing for those teams as well. So I think big props to Skyesports for running it in this way. I think this was a really good way to sort of dip your toes back in, scale it back, just do a good job, which was, by all accounts, exactly what happened. Yeah, there was a couple of issues maybe here and there with getting games, done quickly and starting on time, and there was a couple of tech delays on the stage and stuff like that, but this kind of stuff happens, not the end of the world. The only things that I will say that were pretty funny to me, there was this video that Tabson put out, or that was put out by Skyesports, and it was like Tabson with Tabson, and it was literally like, blink twice if they've got a gun to your head, Tabson. It's like,
I saw this.
Do you love? It's like what has been your favorite experience at Thingo? And he's like, Chennai is an amazing city, and they have great food and really awesome hotels, and I love Chennai, and India is the best. And then the next one is like, and then it's like, how has the event been? It's like, Skyesports is the greatest tournament operator on earth. You know what I mean? Like, and it's obviously not that way. That's the vibe.
To be fair, we're not the last time Big won anything, so it might be just so happy.
No, maybe he was, but it totally gave vibes of like, please say something nice about us.
Bro had his hands behind his back the entire time. Like,
to be fair, the hotels in Chennai are pretty fucking legit. Asian hotels are great, man.
Yeah. Also, you know, it was really kind of cool to actually see these fucking SEA teams, by the way.
Seeing impressions of pop up was fun. Yeah.
I think Philippines is the new Thailand, by the way.
It is. Let's have a look at the
Philippines,
stats.
low-key, is cranking some players out. I don't
Look at
know,
this
like,
Zums kid.
I've never heard of fucking half these cunts, and they're actually, like, kind of good, some of them.
Yep, Zums was good. Cloudy was good. The rest were kind of like whatever. Derek was surprisingly poor for someone that came back
Derek's been around for such a long time, right?
But yeah. Otherwise, yeah.
Kind of what.
I was like watching that and I was like, they could actually feasibly potentially put together a team from the Philippines and it would actually be like not awful. Like it would be pretty bad, but it would be not awful. You know what I mean? Well, it wouldn't like we're not expecting them to go out and beat fucking Lynn Vision is what I'm saying. But they might be able to beat like okay, where would they be? Like if
Calm
they
the fuck down, bro. Just calm the fuck down. Just shut the fuck
Don't get me
up.
wrong,
bro.
they'd be shit, but like
No, I said they would be bad, not shit.
Just end the fucking show. Just end it.
I was just
You're trying to build a team out of nowhere. Like, you couldn't get a called the Lynn Vision.
Bro, there's 4 players from the Philippines here. I don't know if
They
we
don't
can
even
sort-
have a full team, dog. They don't even have
Yeah.
players.
in the Philippines.
if they had those players on a team, could they be reasonable? Could they beat like some, you know, tier 3
Go on.
Mongolian team? Could they beat like a Cube? Could they beat the Cube? I think maybe.
No.
I think that's possible. Yes.
I don't
Yes.
think so.
You didn't fucking watch them, Bleh. I'm telling you.
Actually. I can't fucking watch the queue, bro. I only tilt watching Chinggis Warriors at Huns. I have a drinking problem because of Mongolian Counter
They
Strike.
won't beat. They won't beat Chinggis Warriors. They won't beat Chinggis Warriors.
There's
But they
no
might.
way
They
they
beat.
beat
They would beat an Indian team. They would beat an
Oh,
Indian
100%.
team.
100%.
Yeah.
But see, that's you. That's a low blow, all right? I'm just letting you know. I've touched my balls enough times today, so I could live without that.
It's cancer. It's cancer.
Yeah,
Locked
it's
in.
cancer.
All right.
Oh shit! Well,
There you go.
Now we know that the Philippines team will beat the Cube, and that's what we came on this podcast
You know
to
what?
find out.
You know what? I want this to happen.
I just want to see a team.
I want you to pick. I
All
want you
right.
to pick your 5-man Filipino team, convince them to play a game, and let's talk to
Geographically challenged show match: the Cube versus Team Philippines.
Philippines, a best of 3, and let it play out. And 3 of us will commentate that for free, a tri-cast with a bunch of beers.
Oh,
And let's fucking do it.
Clyde,
I'm fucking
Zanzu,
down.
Derek, Zums, and whoever the
Dubstep
fuck
out
else.
retirement.
Yeah.
Fucking
he-
get
and he has to be-
Dubstep. He's
like,
a fucking
YouTuber
YouTuber right
out
now.
He's a VR
he has to
YouTuber,
be
bro.
he has to VTuber stream it.
VTuber.
What's a VR tuber?
VTuber. VTuber, that's
Isn't
what
it the
I mean.
same thing?
Yeah,
Yeah, VTuber.
that's
Yeah.
what I mean,
So get him as well, and boom, we got like we can get his viewership coming in, watching him play. It's
We got
an idea.
2 absolutely washed cunts and 3 young fucking stallions that will ride for the Philippines
That's the formula.
because
That's
we
the
love
winning
and
formula.
penis, you know.
I mean, that really is the formula
Pinot
for this
Pride.
podcast. 2 washed cunts and 1 young stallion, you know? Think
Fair
about
enough.
it.
Yeah, Pilski the young stallion, I guess. There you go.
That's me. I'm
Yeah.
Put it
stuck.
there. All right, let's
Yeah.
wrap it up. Like, comment, subscribe. Piracy cunts. Buymeacoffee.com/Elfishguy.
You can sponsor us. We got a free sponsor spot.
We got a free sponsor spot. That's true. We love skin gambling. And alcohol. And
Just basically
anything 18 plus. Anything 18 plus that will give us money. We'll take it.
Considering how our podcast usually is, I think it'd be fitting. So yeah.
Cigarettes, we'll send them over to Bleh. Performance enhancing drugs, Pilski and I will take those.
Hey,
That's
I
a
work
joke.
out too.
That's
guys.
a joke, by the way. I'm all natural. We're also
Mostly.
natural. We're all
Mostly natural.
Mostly, yeah.
protein powder and creatine. That's all we take. All right,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's wrap it up there. Thanks guys for watching. Next episode, don't know when the fuck that'll be. Probably not for a little while because I will be going to China in 1 week. So it might be a China episode. Pilski will do
can do-
one at Extreme Zone.
We can do a middle.
Spoiler.
We can do a middle of the major thing, maybe, depending on what happens. Maybe.
Yeah, but I'm dead set going to be in China from December 1st to December 23rd. So
Yeah, China has internet.
we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be fucking hard to wrangle, I'll be honest, with the VPN and then the setup that I get to take overseas. But we'll try and get a couple more done before the end of the year. Yeah. All right.
All right.
See you guys for the next one. Peace.
Wasting time. Wasting time.
Hey guys, just at the end of that video and heading into 2025, I want to give a massive shout out to Jean, who has been a big supporter of mine on buymeacoffee.com/Elfishguy. She's been a member for over 12 months. And if you'd be interested in supporting my content and getting this content grind going, then head over there as well and check it out. Thank you very much.